What is up, everyone? And reporting to you from the outskirts of Hurricane Barrel. How'd y'all like that? Huh? Pretty good? I'm pretty sure that this sounds like Barack Obama, but I'm pretty sure I'm trying to aim for weather news. Weather news. Or game show host. Something. I don't know. Okay. It's been a crazy couple of days, so I guess I'll just get right into it. But before I do, I would like to have a conversation about. I can't stress this enough. I'm gonna just go ahead and just get right out and say it because I'm really bad at talking. But I'm trying my best to I'm trying my best to sort of make it sound normal. But in the process of me trying to make it sound normal, I'm trying to plan it in my head. And sometimes I just a lot of my vlogs is just off the cuff. I just say the thing, you know. It's like whatever, if it makes sense or not, who cares? I don't care, whatever. So we're gonna just go ahead and just say it off the cuff a little bit. I don't take criticism well. I do not. I do not take criticism well. I do not because everybody. First off, everybody's a critic. All right. I do. It's not that I don't take criticism well. I don't take criticism. It's I feel like in order for me to take criticism actually seriously, it has to come from somebody who I respect. And a lot of times, the people who give the hardest criticism are usually people who I don't respect. First off, don't I obviously the one thing I really hate is when I'm trying to do something and I get told that I'm bad at it by somebody who would never even consider doing the thing that I'm trying to do. You know what I mean? One of the big reasons why I delete hateful comments now. I used to be able I used to just leave it on back then, but now I delete hateful comments because it's not criticism. You know what I mean? First off, you don't have any videos on your you can't tell me that my video sucks if you don't have any videos on your YouTube. That's part one. Okay? Who are you? If you I'm just saying this right now. It's if you don't have any videos, you getting deleted. You know what I'm saying? If you made your account a few months ago, if not maybe last year, if you made your account recently made your account in the course of 5 years, and all you have are playlists of videos that you like, your comment is getting deleted. I don't have time to be getting annoyed by strangers who just saw me and was "Oh my God, it's a black guy! I can't wait to harass him." It's go away, go away. Every video that I make, every short that I make is basically telling white supremacists to go away, and white supremacists be "No, I don't want to go away. I want to bother you instead." And it's please. I mean, you can, but I'm not gonna adhere to your stupidity, and I'm not gonna stop what I'm doing just because it's upsetting you. You know the thing that I really just don't like is the fact that nobody just wants to say, "Hey, that hurt my feelings. Can you stop it?" You know what I mean? I hate the fact that that is such a weird. I hate the fact that in today's society, that phrase is the most the most controversial thing you could say. "Hey, what you're doing is upsetting me. Can you please stop?" You know what I mean? It's never that. It's always, "Actually, your stuff is terrible. I don't like it. It's stupid. You're stupid. Everything you do is bad, and I don't like it. And you should never do it again." It's have a conversation. People just need people have gotten so used to insulting each other and mistreating each other and talking smack about each other and all this stuff that they just never actually sit down and actually have an actual conversation. There's no discussions anymore. It's just arguments and debates. It's no, dude. Think outside the box. This is not. I'm not trying to change your mind about anything. I'm just telling you what's happening. I'm just telling you what's happening right now. Me, I'm gonna tell you straight up. I'm gonna tell you straight up. This thing, I didn't like this thing. I didn't like this thing because it affected me in a way that I didn't want to be affected. That's how I approach things because of the fact that I know that I try my best to keep it personal because oh wow, did the hurricane just go away? I don't know if y'all can see this or not, but it's brightening up in here. No, the after images are. I mean, it's still there, but it's not as bad. But I don't know if you noticed or not, but if you see right here, that's sunshine. The skies were gray earlier. Okay, I think the hurricane passed. I don't know. It's awesome. Yeah, I don't like it. I just don't like this idea that first off, I try my best to always keep my points personal. I try my best to keep it so that people only know that people only know that I'm speaking off my own personal experiences or off my own personal cuff. I try my best. Like I use words like probably and maybe and sort of and kind of and possibly. I say try my best. I also refer to myself. I say me, my perspective. I think this is, I see this as, oh my bad. I thought this was like, I try my best to make it so that people understand that I'm not trying to be this trying to come off as some sort of universal all-knowing super being and you're supposed to pay attention to everything that I say. It's like, no, that's not what I'm doing. I want to just be able to talk about, I want to be able to say, this is what I saw, this is what I believe happened, this is my perspective on that thing. And like that way, I mean, you can't. Once again, I always go back to this, like, cause like, what were you gonna say if I did? Man, dude, does this look shiny to you? Like, this is not that shiny. I'm not moisturized right now, but I look mad shiny. It's like that sun is beaming, bro. Um, yeah, it's just like it's very frustrating to me because it's like nobody wants to say their own personal perspective. I'm not gonna say nobody, but most people don't want to like really say their own personal perspective anymore. But most people really just kind of want to sort of just like make their perspective like universally agreed upon facts, so they can feel good about themselves. And I just think that that's weird because it's like I don't want, like, my whole thing is I don't want to be agreed with universally because I don't want to be able to say the sun is purple and people be like, yep, the sun is purple. I don't want that because it's like everybody knows that the sun ain't purple. You know what I'm saying? Would it be cool if the sun is purple? Probably, but but it's like I don't want people to universally agree with me, but I don't want people who just gonna pop up just to talk smack just because like they are upset about what I said and they don't want to have a conversation about why I said what I said. It's like especially because like I like to think I make it very clear where I stand on certain things. White supremacy bad, right? You know what I'm saying? It's like anybody, if you've seen enough of my shorts, I believe that white supremacy is bad. I'm gonna always make fun of it. I believe that racism is bad. I will always make fun of it. You know what I'm saying? He thinks that white people are bad. I said white supremacy. You're just stupid. God, I hope I accidentally spat. I hope that didn't come through. But that's what I'm saying though. It's just like I know where I stand on certain things, but back to like my take on criticism, I don't like the idea of people who have no intention on doing anything telling people who are trying to do things that they can't do things. My whole thing is that like your perspective on this thing is like is invalid because nothing you say is gonna matter because you're just trying to bring somebody down because you didn't think to do something. My whole thing is that if you're gonna tell me that I'm terrible or that I'm trash or that I suck or whatever, then make a video. You know what I'm saying? You got all this time to diss me and talk smack about me, then you got enough time to do something constructive. You know what I mean? Like, I don't like white supremacy, so I make fun of white supremacy and I make videos about it. You know what I'm saying? I don't like Donald Trump. I make fun of Donald Trump. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of things that I take my energy and I try to put it into towards something that I can use to help myself rather than try to use it to mock or demean or harm somebody else. You know what I mean? Well, you demean and harm and make fun of white supremacists and Donald Trump because they're bad people. It's not like I'm bullying them because LOL he's fat and blonde. It's like, oh my God, I can't believe stupid people got this dude elected and pushed to this high of a level in his life already just because he's rich and racist. Like, what the world, right? So yeah, but I will say this though, and I will say this: the reason why I want to go ahead, because I think I consider myself to be a level-headed person when it comes to criticism. Like, if you're an expert in what you're doing, and you're just trying to help me out, by all means, I will take that I will take that at face value because what you're saying is important. But maybe like when I be in training, you know what I'm saying? I'm obviously going to be training with people who have been in the wrestling business for a long time. They're going to tell me some stuff that I need to hear. They're going to give me advice on what I need to work on and things like that. That part I get and I understand. But if they just came up to, but it's also a presentation. There's also tact that comes with it. You're not gonna come up to me and be like, "You just straight out suck, bro. You need to do X, Y, Z, 1, 2, 3, blah, 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 blah." Because if you don't, then you're just gonna continue to be trash. I'm gonna be like, in my brain, I'm gonna be like, "Wow, this guy is a piece of garbage, and I hate him." It's like, well, you just need to take criticism better. No, I don't. Just because you have a good reason to do a bad thing doesn't mean I have to like the bad thing that you did. You know what I'm saying? Like people love talking about people making excuses for things, except for when except when it comes to the idea of this person did something bad for a good reason. It's like that's an excuse ultimately. Like that's an excuse. I thought we lived by the no excuses lifestyle. Like what's going on? Also, completely different from this rant that I'm doing right now. I a while back, as I said before, there was this a while back, as I said before, there was this woman who had followed me on Instagram, and I follow her back. Her name is Sierra Foster. She is a very talented actress and an activist, and obviously she did like bits and pieces of certain things, but once again, her prime thing is that she's an activist, but she is an activist. She is an actress at some things. So one of the things I told myself I was going to do, because I support my friend, I do consider her a friend, is I was going to like watch some of the stuff that she was in, and one of those things is a series on Crackle. I think that's a Sony streaming thing. It's called Crackle, and there's a series called Salvage Marines, and Salvage Marines is a series ultimately it's kind of like a weird take on the future. Basically, a corporation just ruined Earth, and now you got people who are out in space who have to kind of like who kind of work for the corporation. The corporation kind of puts everybody in this big old debt. In order for you to like get out of the debt, you can either work for the rest of your life to pay the debt, or you could do like a couple of crazy jobs for this job called the Salvage Marines, where y'all, I think that they go to like random things out in space and they get resources from certain things out in space. And the thing about those certain things out in space is that like the Salvage Marine job is technically, it's kind of like one of those blood in blood out jobs, whereas like you might die before your debt is paid. Um, I just recently went through like the first two episodes, and it's okay, but like obviously it's a little hammer fit. It's like they're really hammering it home that the lead character might cheat on his wife. I'm not saying he will. I'm not saying he won't. And you guys have no clue what I'm talking about, so it's not really a spoiler. So, but it's like it's really kind of like implying that like there's some chemistry going on between them. Sierra Foster's character is one of the I want to say she's one of the drill sergeants there, and she like you'll know her. You'll know her when you see her. She's the only black one. But but it is dope to kind of like see it's like I could see her in the thing and be like that's Falsey, that's Falsey. I'm glad to see Falsey. So like yeah, you know. But it's like I will say this though, if Fossey ever wanted to, that's what I call her by the way. I call her Fossey. If Fossey were to ever like 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 tell me how to like see me acting and tell me how to act, and she was like cool about it, I would gladly take what she say at face value. But if she, like it says, all about approach at the end of the day. If you're gonna critique my performance, then I get to critique your critique. In my opinion. You know what I'm saying? I was like, well, you could have easily said this instead of this. You could have done this instead of this. Well, no, because I'm the critique, and you can't tell me how to talk to you. It's like, yeah, I can, because you can't tell me how to be me. If you want me to understand what you're saying, you're gonna have to say this instead of this. You're gonna have to approach me like this instead of this. In order for me to understand what you're saying, because I get what you're saying, or at least I think I am, but like, what your methods are questionable, and I don't understand them. So I'm trying to help you. I'm trying to mend whatever bridge we're trying to build right now. Like you're clearly using your materials, but you won't let me use mine, and that's a problem. Like this isn't communication. This is just you being annoying. Like if you want to give brother advice, then you have to approach with tact, approach with a concept. Like if you're gonna ask me if I understand, and I tell you I don't understand because you're not saying this stuff or not doing it in this way. If you don't want to adhere to my suggestions, why should I have to adhere to yours? I love how my hand looks in this thing, by the way. That's what I'm saying. It's like, if you're gonna like, you can't criticize me and expect me to just be like, golly jeepers, gee whiz, I cannot. Wow, wow. You're absolutely right in everything that you just said, and I need to go ahead and do exactly as you said, the way that you said it. That doesn't work in the real world, man. Come on. That doesn't work. What is this? An episode of Leave It to Beaver? I need to watch that show. It's a parody of the 1950s, but I need to watch it. But the fact of the matter is, though, is that like how we, I feel like like I said, we don't as a society we need to work on our approaches to people. We need to work on how we talk to people. We need to work on how we address people and stuff like that. I just think it's a little weird that like in this day and age, everybody is still like people are just still hard. Like people are just bad at being people because people don't want to acknowledge other people's existence and treat other people like people. They treat everybody like I'm not like most people, some people, a handful of people, but it's like there's always like there's people out there who are trying to find ways to excuse mistreating people by using like we have to treat people this way because we have to treat people this way because we have a good reason why we're doing it. It's like it's not. It's like we're not being mean. The thing that we're doing is just worth doing because it's just a normal reaction, or that's just how things have always been. It's like there's so many excuses to justify why we dehumanize other people and why we mistreat other people. But there's like like so I'm just it's just sort of like get rid of the challenge of just trying to acknowledge another human being as something more than just as something more than just a thing in your space. You know what I mean? It's just wild. I just find that to just be a little annoying. Like like that's when I would never acknowledge bullying in a positive light. I would never acknowledge bullying in a positive light. I would never like acknowledge white supremacy or bigotry in a positive light. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't believe that bullies are essential to society. I just think that they're a result of a bad society and stuff like that. So it's just kind of weird to me that we kind of have to. It's just weird to me that we're kind of pressured into just thinking that these people are like we're pressuring. I feel like there's a bit of a peer pressure towards acknowledging the utility, if there is any, for like bullies and mean people and stuff like that, in contrast to just treating people with respect. It's like, well, like actually bullies are trauma victims, and we need to just sort of like let them just play the whole thing out. And I'm just like, no, we don't have to do that. We could just tell them to treat people like people. It's like like challenge, like if we challenge the norm, we could improve things on the better instead of just like the only reason why things are the norm is because we don't challenge it. If bad things are normal, we should challenge that. Bullying is not normal. Mistreating people not normal. Like if we're going to criticize people, you know what I'm saying? If we're going to criticize people for doing things, we should also be doing things. You know what I mean? Like, you're not going to tell me that I'm a bad wrestler and I've never seen you wrestle a match before. You're not going to tell, like, well, I could go into a restaurant and know good. I've never been a cook either, but like I know good food when I eat it. No, you know food that you like, bro. You know food that you like. You know food that you like. And that's fine. But you don't get to say, I don't like this food, so nobody should. That's stupid. That's stupid. Like you don't get to do that. Don't do things like that. Don't be that person. And I feel like as a society we kinda need to all just stop trying to be that person. I don't like white supremacy, but if you like it, I just hope that you don't get any power and authority from now on because it's been historically proven that you guys are the bad guys and you guys ruin things. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not gonna tell nobody not to like it. If you like it, by all means like it. But like it from the inside of your homes, please, because every bad thing in the country is your fault. At some point, I'm gonna like probably bring up Bleeding Kansas again. I probably might do a little video about Bleeding Kansas and the Border Ruffians and stuff like that. So just stay tuned. I am thinking about it. I am working on it and stuff like that. So that's it. But man, this video is long. Love and peace and happiness to everybody out there. I hate how low this shirt is. Why did you give me this shirt, Jared? I don't like. I'm not gonna say that. I peace, love, happiness. Treat people with respect. Treat people with kindness. Challenge yourself to be a better person than you were the day before. You know what I mean? Because like I said, being mean is mainstream. So be punk rock. All right, I'm out. Love and peace.